What is up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders, reading the market one trade at a time. Alright, so I'm glad you guys were able to make it. Hope everybody's having a great week. A lot of interesting things going to be talking about this week. A lot of interesting plays going on this week. So hope everybody's able to lock in some profits. If it's your first time here, make sure you drop a comment down below or give it a thumbs up. Gladly helps. Lets me know that these videos are helpful, and if there's any questions you have, don't be afraid to interrupt me while going over the watch list. I will post the watch list after this live stream is done, so once this live stream is done, I'll post another watch list. So I'll go over some of the stocks that are on here as well, and some of the catalysts for their movement. So if you missed any, or if you came in late during the video, you could catch it on the watch list once I post it. All right, so first, going to be talking about Blink. So Blink on here. I'll take these headphones off. So Blink on here, Blink charging. Going to be looking from the previous watch list. So these are the two watch lists. The one from the 28th, which is already posted. And then you have the one from the 29th, which is posted. So those are the two that I'm going over first. Then I'll go over some of the new ones towards the bottom of the list. So first on here, we have Blink Charging. I still think it's a growth company overall. They did touch 5186, but at the time of the video or time of the stream, they are bearish. They've kind of been falling off a little bit. I don't know if that's because ChargePoint is going public or what's really going on with them, but I think as a long-term play, they still have a lot of moves going on. I think there's a lot of uncertainty in the market in general, just because of the stimulus, going back and forth, $600, and then the potential $2,000, and then it getting sent back, and just back and forth between all that, which is a lot of uncertainty, which the market doesn't really like uncertainty, and neither do I. So I think that's why a lot of the stocks you'll see are going down. But I think once that stimulus is passed, I still agree with some of the plays that I had on here, that it's all the market in a whole is going to go up once that is passed. So next we have ticker sign MRK from American Company. They are still bullish. Looking at the chart today, they ended at 81.42. After hours went up 1 cent to 81.43. They did touch 81.59, so still really close to that day high where they touched 81.59. Going to be looking for them to continue to go up as time goes on. They are bullish. Moving average 10 line is above moving average 50 and 100, which is purple and yellow line on the 30-minute chart. So overall, good metric for them. Still going to be keeping an eye on them. And on the watch list, I think they had a really good catalyst for their growth. Next, we're going to get into the airlines. So we're talking about Southwest first. Southwest touched 47.17. And that was based on, when the first stimulus news came out. Then it started to go back down. If you'll see in that link that I posted, or that picture that I posted on the actual Patreon page itself, it has a breakdown of the different amounts that are going to different places, and it had a section for transportation, which is railways, airlines, and airports, and then there is a special section for airlines. So once all the dust settles and all this stuff is signed off, then the airlines will be getting their money, and I think that's when we'll definitely see these airlines begin to take off. So that's ticker sign LUV for Southwest. They ended the day at 46.15. Then after hours went down 4 cents to end at 46.11. Next we have United Airlines, ticker sign UAL. They are bearish as well. Still waiting on that stimulus news to be finalized. So that's still my catalyst for them. Bearish ended at 43.74. Then after hours went down 18 more cents to end at 43.56. Still waiting on that stimulus news catalyst for them to go back up. Also in the airlines, rounding off the airlines, we have Delta Airlines, ticker sign DAL. They are bearish. They did touch this 40.84 level today, but overall still went down after that spike. But, I think they're going to continue to go sideways until that stimulus is passed. So they ended at 40.03. After hours went down 11 cents to end at 39.92. Next, we have Neo jumping into the EV space. Neo seems to be on a bullish uptrend at the current moment. If we see on 28th, they went down to this level, or they started to go up at this level around 44.85. They continued to go up. Seems like they're starting this bullish uptrend. They ended the day at 46.14. Then after hours went up 20 more cents to end at 46.34. So I'll definitely look for them for an early morning mover. Even though, the VWAP and moving average 10 aren't above these moving average 50 and 100. If we look at the candle pattern right here and it ending at positive 20 cents above, it's good, safe bet in my opinion to say that it's going to continue to move up in the early mornings on tomorrow. So next we have ticker sign INO, and that's for Inovio. They've basically gone down since that news came out about their phase 1 trial. So they touched 1103 from that phase 1 trial news, and then they've gone down. They've gone down all the way to 862, but it seems like they're trying to slowly but surely rally back up. They are bearish. They're by moving average 10, being below the moving average 50 and 100, but I think they definitely have potential to go back up with more updates. Next, we have Zendesk. So Zendesk is bearish at the time of this video. It looks like they're trying to go back up as well. Overall, still positive for the day. They went up, 1 cent to end the positive on the day. They did touch this level right here, which was 141.65. But I'm looking to get back to this level, which was this 144.56. So between this 144.56 and this 140.06, there's like a $4.50 difference. So I'm looking for it to go back and potentially cross this level yet again. So I'm going to keep my eye out on them. Next, we have Palantir, ticker sign PLTR. They are bearish at the time of this video. This one swings a lot as well, so it acts the same as Neo in my opinion. There's a lot of people who trade this stock daily. They day trade it. They sell. As far as options, they sell a lot of puts and calls on this one, so it fluctuates in price quite a bit. Looking at the stock overall, we can see that they are bearish, denoted by moving average 10 being below moving average 50 and 100, but we see they're starting to go sideways, but they did end on a positive note to go up 25 more cents to end at 24.91. So hopefully that means tomorrow they'll continue to go up as time goes on. So next, getting into some of the pennies, we have ticker sign GEVO, which is still bullish but running sideways. It went up to $5.15 on the 28th, and then did its dead cat bounce and then bounced back up to $4.98. But then it's been going sideways since then. It is bearish. It is bullish. Did it by moving average 10 line, being above moving average 50 and 100. Second indicator, VWAP, is below the moving average 10. So going to be looking for VWAP to go back above the moving average 10 to confirm the bullish run up. Next, we have ticker sign MFIN. If we see on here, volume for them was kind of low today, in my opinion. They did touch this 538 on the 24th, but overall haven't really been doing too much since that initial spike came out. So we're keeping an eye out on them, but not really looking for too much from them. Next, ticker sign AVCT for American Virtual Cloud. They are bullish at the time of this video. This week they have touched $7.81, which was on the 29th. So today they touched this $7.81. So if you're able to get in on this one a little early, you probably would have got in around 738, and then when it went all the way to 781, you could have got probably a 50-cent win on that one. So that was a nice little bitty run right there on that one. So that was nice for that one. So hopefully you were able to execute on that one and get that 50-cent win. And drop a comment down below. Tell me if you guys are able to execute on some of these and get some profits. I like to hear some of the good news on some of the trades that are going on here. So they started to go down today, and then had their bounce as well. They bounced off of this moving average 50 line to go back up to the 729 where they ended, and then after hours they rallied all the way up 21 more cents to end at 750. So I think that's a positive note that they could potentially, go back up to this 780 or touch the 781 level here pretty soon. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this one, especially considering the moving average 10 line is still above moving average 50 and 100, denoting that bullish run up. And the second confirmation being the VWAP is above the moving average 10. So I'm going to keep an eye out on them for a potential early morning mover on tomorrow. Next, we have ticker sign CLRB, which has been going pretty much sideways the whole day, the whole week. We can see on here on the 23rd, they just went up, just started going sideways from around this 180 level to around this 220. I guess this is the 231 level. They've just been going sideways. Not too much going on for them. I'd like to see them, try to do something else other than this, but not really expecting too much movement from them. Next, we have ticker sign DMAC. They are bullish at the time of this video, but VWAP fell down significantly. So that may be one thing that kind of hurts this one as time goes on. They did touch this 1042 level, which was the 28th. So since then, they kind of fell down. They dropped and bounced off of this moving average 50 line. And then this is the second bounce off the moving average 50 line. So when they bounced off the moving average 50 line, they went up to this 921 level from this. I guess this was 9 or 8, 97 level, and then they bounced again, but this bounce doesn't seem to be as high as the other one, so it may be the end for the bounce on this one. So 933 is where they ended. Going to be looking to see if they can recover from this level. Next, we have ticker sign TAC for Trans-Atlanta. They did touch 768. This was on the 24th, so that was a short trading week. But since then, they kind of have fallen off and gone sideways for quite a while. Not really much volume with them as well. So if we see they ended the day at $7.36, and they went 10 cents down after hours to end at 726. So not really expecting much from them either. Next on here, we have ticker sign AIM for AIM Immunotech. They are bearish at the time of this video. The moving average 10 line has gone down below the moving average 50 and 100 line. And they ended at 187. After hours, they went up 2 more cents to end at 189. So looking for some more updates from them since they did touch this 220 level pretty recently. Going to be looking for more updates for catalysts for movement of them. Next, we have Tesla, which today or this week in general has been going sideways. I've watched a couple of videos about Tesla, and people are saying, it could potentially have some more upgrades around the corner for them. So I'm going to be looking for some upgrades for them, as well as looking for some more catalysts for movement from the company as a whole. Now, their factories are closed until next week, and there have been rumors about a potential Model S revision. So they're potentially, redesigning the Model S since they have the Plaid releasing and just refreshing the brand as a whole. And if you who followed the channel or followed just news in general, the week prior, Apple announced that they were going to be having an EV car released in 2024. I think that's been pushed out to 2028 now, I think, from projections. But overall, Apple joining the EV space kind of, put a damper on Tesla, in my opinion, just for a little bit. But if you know the company as a whole, Tesla is the leader as far as EVs and autonomous driving is concerned, in my opinion. Now, there are other companies like NIO, which is an EV company, Candy, which is an EV company that's in China. You also have, different EVs here in the U.S., like Porsche has an EV. Most American automakers have EV cars, but as far as technology and, I guess not reliability, but technology and notoriety, I think Tesla kind of has it in the bag on this one. So, if Tesla does get these upgrades, then I'll expect the company to go up. But, there's also one thing that I'm considering as well, is that a lot of portfolio advisors or mutual fund advisors are going to be reshuffling their portfolios to re-diversify, and I think a lot of them are going to be putting Tesla into their portfolio. So when that happens, it's usually like a mass grab. Usually what a lot of companies do is they'll wait until the stock is stable. So to me, this denotes that the stock is stable, in my opinion, because it's just been running sideways. So I think when the new year starts around January, time frame, we could see Tesla potentially having a small rally, if not a large rally, from a lot of portfolio funds putting Tesla into their portfolios. Also, in the beginning of January, we'll be getting delivery numbers for Tesla. I think there's been a hint that it's going to be around 500K deliveries, or it might be 500K plus. But anyway, I think that's going to be a catalyst to help move this stock up as well. So upgrades, delivery numbers, as well as people adding them to the different funds that they have, I think are all going to be combined to help this stock continue to go up in the coming weeks leading up to 2021. Next, we have ticker sign AMZN for Amazon, which has just been on a crazy bullish run up. I had this one on here for, I think it was the 28th? For the 29th one. So for the 29th one, we can see the 29th, they basically ended right here, which is at $3,295. And then since then went up to $3,350. So overall, Amazon has just been on a crazy run up, in my opinion. But I think this run up is going to continue and continue and continue because they're opening more facilities, they're opening more distribution centers, and you gotta also remember in February is when their earnings is going to come. One of the things that I think has been overshadowed, or I guess looked over by Amazon, is that they have a new Amazon pharmacy. So Amazon pharmacies, they're going to be doing a rollout of distribution of actual pharmaceuticals. So they're not going to, just do delivery of everyday items. Well, they basically sell just everything, but pharmaceuticals is, going to be a large portion of it. I think when more updates come about pharmaceuticals or their pharmaceutical section, I think this stock's going to shoot up even further. So definitely keep my eyes on them as time goes on. Now, for options, it is very pricey to get into this one, pretty expensive. I think the cheapest one I saw is like probably $400 or $500 to get into a call that's probably around $5,000 strike price. But there are deals in there some days, and there are deals, better deals other days. But you just have to shop around for this one. This is like one of the most pricey ones that I know to get into option wise. Next is Apple. And Apple again, moving off that catalyst from the EV. So they announced that they had an EV coming out in 2028, but as we see, the stock has started to go down. So people kind of, left off of that news. It's kind of old news now at this point in time, but we can see they ended the day at 134.47. Then after hours went to 134.64. Next, we have Netflix, which I think is doing pretty well. If we see Netflix on a pretty bullish uptrend. So I think I had Netflix on this one too. So yeah, the 29th. So if you look on the 29th, they end it right here. So hopefully you all were able to jump in and snab a call for that one and execute, because it has gone up since then. So on the 29th, when I sent the watch list, it was at 519. And then it jumped all the way up to 536. So that's a nice little run up right there. So if you're able to execute on that, congrats. I hope you're able to lock in some profits on that option. Get some profits for that one because it moved up quite significantly in that short amount of time. So it is bullish, done about moving average 10, big above moving average 50 and 100. And then we can see VWAP right here is below the moving average 10. So I'll probably expect this one to go a little bit sideways tomorrow unless VWAP will cross again. We could see usually VWAP at the end of the day crosses and goes under moving average 10, and then at the beginning of the day VWAP goes up, which starts the bullish trend again. So if in the early morning we see VWAP start to go back up and cross this moving average 10, then we could potentially have another day like this where it touches 536 and potentially go up further than 536 for tomorrow. So keeping my eyes out on that one. Nikola, I had a put out for Nikola since Nikola was doing so bad. So if we see Nikola fail, what was the dates on this? So today, it started off at 1713, and then fell down to this 1545 level, but then started to bounce back up. So it fell down quite significantly. So if you had a put on that, you may have been able to execute for a little bit of profit on that put. But overall, it bounced off of this moving average 50, which surprised me, to be honest. I expected it to go all the way back down to this 1351 level, and it started to rally back up. We're in at the 1613, but then after hours went to 1604. So tomorrow I'll see how this goes. Don't really know why people will be buying Nikola, especially considering they lost their main contract, which was with the garbage trucks. Then also they said they're not making the Badger anymore, so the company really doesn't have any cash flow coming in, but they're still spending money. They still have employees. They still are doing research and development. So they're basically operating on float at this point in time. So why people are investing in them, I don't really understand. But there's going to be a point in time, whether it's earnings or another deal missed out, that's going to ultimately send this back down to this 1351 level again, in my opinion. Next, we have ticker sign OCGN for Ocugen. If we see Ocugen, they are bullish, or let's see, they are bearish, barely. I'd say that's bullish. I'd say they're bullish at the time of this video. Moving average 10 is like barely below the moving average 50, but we see they went back up to this 217 level. So I would say that's bullish. They did touch this 305 level. I'm going to be looking forward to touch that level again, but overall they ended at 215, which was 2 cents below this 217 level. So going to be keeping an eye on them. Volume is still pretty high for this one, but since the VWAP and the moving average 10 crossed the moving average 50, going to be keeping an eye on them to see how they behave. Now, I know a lot of people, even on my YouTube page, are talking about, oh, look at Ocugen. And Ocugen yesterday had, the highest volume, in my opinion, stock-wise. So a lot of people are trading Ocugen, but I'm going to be seeing how it performs as time goes on. Next, we have ticker sign NNDM for Nano Dimensions. They did touch 1049 on the 23rd, but if we see right here, where they're at, they ended on a positive note, 14 cents above where they closed. So they ended at 859 and then went up to 873. So 14 cents above. So that's a pretty good metric for them. Definitely going to be keeping an eye on them, especially since they have that offering, that $250 million offering that they have. Ideanomics, with their release of their EVs, I think once this catches on, it'll definitely, go back up. They did touch 260. They ended the day at 209, but then went up 6 more cents then at 215. So I think if they could bounce off of this moving average 100 line and go back through this moving average 50 line, then I would say, yeah, they have the confirmation. But as of now, I would put them in the bearish category. Next, we have ticker sign DPW. DPW is still bullish. They did touch 543 on the 28th. So yesterday they touched 543, but they kind of fell off since then. But I still think they have potential to run up just because the moving average 10 line is above moving average 50 and 100, and it ended candlestick wise, it ended pretty positive. But VWAP is above the moving average 10. So both of my metrics that I use for confirmation of bullish uptrend are confirmed. So that's why I'm keeping this a watch on this one. Next, we have ticker sign CREG, which is on the watch list as well. It touched $10 even, but then since then has fallen down to $5.62, and it ended the day at 546. Not really looking for too much from them. Gonna be watching them, but not really expecting too much. Next, we have ticker sign TCON for Tracon Pharma. Touched $11.80 today. So it went down, started off the day at $9.58, and then went all the way up to $11.80. So hopefully you all were able to execute on that. It's a pretty good metric for them. I think they were on the 29th. Yeah, so on the 29th, they had it on here. So, hopefully you all were able to execute on that, because it started off the market today around this level, this 964 level. So if you got it at 964, be a $2 win. If you're able to lock in when it jumped all the way up to this 1180. So hopefully you're all able to lock that in. That's a nice little $2 profit on that one. So it is bullish, done about moving average 10, being above moving average 50 and 100, and moving average and VWAP is above moving average 10. So overall bullish, and then on a bullish note, going to be looking forward to go up tomorrow. Next, we have ticker sign AMRS for Amiris. I hope I'm saying that correctly. They touched $6.11 on yesterday, and then they've kind of just been going down since then. They are bullish. At the time of this video, both indicators are a hit. Moving average 10 above moving average 50 and 100, and VWAP is above moving average 10. But overall, still going to be looking at this one. They've been on a pretty bullish uptrend for like quite a while now. If we go all the way back to here, where they first initially crossed, we'll say this is back in the 10th of December. So there's been a long, steady increase for them going up. So hopefully, they'll bounce off of this moving average 50 line and then continue to go back up to the 611 line. So definitely be looking at them. Next, we have ticker sign IMV. They touched $3.64. And then they are bearish. They're about moving average 10 line, going below the moving average 50 and 100. But VWAP stayed above the moving average 50 and 100. So I think this definitely has potential to go back up tomorrow. They ended 2 cents above where they ended the day. So they ended on a positive note. Definitely going to be looking for VWAP to go back up and more people to jump into this one. Next, we have ticker sign UUU for Universal Security Instruments. They touched $13.80. They ended at $5. After hours went down 26 cents to end at $4.74. So overall, going to be looking at them to see how they perform for tomorrow. Since they did touch that 1380 level, maybe more people will jump in this tomorrow, considering the volume was so high. Next, we have BNGO or Bingo. The name of the company is Bio Nanogenomics. They ended the day at $1.33, and then they did touch this 149 level. So 149 was the high for the day. But if we see after hours, they went up 41 cents. So they ended after hours above the highest for the day. So if we look on here, they are bullish. They're not moving average 10 line, big above moving average 50 and 100. So going to be looking at them tomorrow for an early morning mover. Definitely looking good, a good setup for tomorrow. Next, we have ticker sign KOSS. They touched $5.10 yesterday. Well, this morning, I should say, because it looks like it jumped up. So, yeah, this morning, they started off at 16. Started off at, what is this? $2.53, and then jumped up to $5.10. Then after hours, kind of just went sideways after that. Fell down to this new level. But moving average 10 is above 50 and 100. And VWAP is still significantly high on this one. So I'm going to be looking at this one tomorrow. Not really expecting much since they already moved 43.33% today. But overall, still going to be looking at this one since it moved so much today in general. Next, ticker sign NSYS for Nortech Systems. They touched $7.45 today. And then after that, kind of went sideways. Overall, still bullish for this one. Not about moving average 10 line, being above moving average 50 and 100, and moving average 10 being below VWAP, and VWAP being above all of those metrics. Going to be looking for this one to go up some more tomorrow. If we look on a positive note, they ended at 6.50, and then after hours went up 50 cents to end at $7. So they're well on their way to get back to this $7.45 level. Next is ticker sign CNFR. So they did touch $2.82 today, but overall, a very choppy chart. It's just up and down everywhere. So this one is kind of a spec play, volume-wise, just been crazy all over the place. But one thing that caught my eye is that after hours, they went up 107.55%. So the stock went up 107.55% after hours, and it ended at $2.65. So after hours, they went up $2.85. So CNRF is definitely one that's going to be on my radar for tomorrow, especially with after hours movement this crazy. So, I mean, it's rare that you see a stock go up 107.55% after hours. But, you know, definitely going to be keeping my eye out on this one. And I think it was one that was definitely overshadowed by the market today. Next, we have ticker sign LUMO. For Lumos Pharma, they did touch 32.75 today. After hours, they went down to, well, at the close, they went to 31.96. So going to be looking at this one to continue its bullish trend moving forward. So definitely keep my eyes on this one. Overall, been pretty good growth-wise for this one. Next, we have Baba for Alibaba. Now, Alibaba has been sold off pretty fast. If we see, they were at this level right here, which was around 255, fell all the way down to 211, and then it started to try to rally back up. I think it will potentially rally back up, but some of the indicators, you know, we're going to have to see this moving average 10 line cross both of these moving average 50 and 100 lines, and then I'm going to have to also see this VWAP be significantly higher than where it currently is at. Now, I do know Alibaba is not a small company, not a small stock, so they do get a lot of publicity from news outlets like MSNBC and other news outlets like that. So definitely going to be looking to see some more articles come out, as well as some more publicity from those news and media outlets on this stock. Next, we have ticker sign ABBV for AbbVie. I'm going to say it correctly, AbbVie. Now today they shot up to 105.37, and then they've kind of stayed at that level throughout the day. They ended at 104.70, so definitely going to be looking at them tomorrow to see how they perform. If they have more momentum to continue to go up, they are bullish. Done about moving average 10 line being above 50 and 100, so going to be looking at more levels for them. Next, we have Snap, which has just been doing pretty good in my opinion. They shot up today, went all the way up to this, where's this level at? 53.74, and then kind of went down after that to end at 51.23. After hours, they went to 50.95, so they went 28 cents down. But because they had this dramatic move upward, I think they're going to have a lot of potential to continue to move up forward for tomorrow. Seems like a lot of positive orders came in towards the end of the day for them as well. So, you know, I'm definitely going to be looking for, if nothing else, the dead cat bounce from this one for it to bounce back up. If this moving average 10 line will bounce off this moving average 50 line and then bounce back up, since VWAP is already above all three of those metrics. If this moving average 10 line bounces back up and VWAP starts to go up as well, then we could have a confirmation of another bullish day for them. Boeing is the next one on here. Boeing did touch this 221 level, but then seemed to go and fall down after that and just run sideways. They ended at 216.25. Then after hours went to 216.01. Which was 24 cents below where they ended. But, you know, with the release of the 737 MAX being starting, you know, to fly again, I think that's a good metric. I think that's a good metric for them overall to continue their path forward. So going to be looking for some more updates on this company moving forward. And lastly, we have Candy Tech Corporation. So today, or was this yesterday? Yeah, today they touched this $8.04 level. They ended the day at 7.16. After hours went up 10 more cents and at 7.26. So I think overall this company definitely has the potential to continue to move up. I like the company. I like that they're in the EV space. And I think they have the potential to be like, as high as NEO is. I don't understand why they're being overlooked. But I think more people just don't know about the company. So, they don't get publicity like NEO. They don't get publicity like Tesla or these other companies. But there are a lot of EV companies out there that are still good, go-to companies that make, good products. So I would say, definitely do some research on Candy. I talked about them briefly in a video that I did today, so you can go look at that one on the main page. But I think they definitely have potential to go up, especially if they catch on and give more delivery numbers and things of that nature. So that's the watch list. If you have any questions about the watch list, I'll try to post the one for tonight. So I got to go finish putting some more stocks on there with some more catalysts for tomorrow. And then, make sure you check in on Thursday. We'll have a video on Thursday at the normal time as well. But I hope everybody is able to lock in some profits this week. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you drop them down below in this video, or you can add them on the Patreon page. That works as well too. I'll try to answer those at any time. So good luck to you all. Hope you all have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you all next time.